I don't know if you all know, but I have been a luthier almost as long as I've been a professional bass player since the late 70s. And, well, bass player since the late 70s. Luthier, I pretty much started right around 1980. And I wanted to discuss with you how you can actually make a career in luthiery, and the best way to get started. I constantly have people asking me if they can kind of be taken under my wing and work as an apprentice. And with my music career and other things that I've got going, I just don't have the time to take somebody on. But I have to say that is how I got started. Now there's a lot of folks that'll go to a luthiery school, and that's great. The Roberto Venn over in Arizona is a good way to go. But I started out apprenticing just because I was so into being a bass player, and I was very fortunate when I was in college. As a kind of a side thing, I began apprenticing under a master luthier, fellow named John Hawk. And John was very kind to allow me to work in the shop with him. And at first you start on simpler things, and he had me cutting inlays out of abalone or mother of pearl, and then moving on to other aspects. But it was a great way to learn a lot in a very short amount of time. I spent a few years with John, and I can't thank him enough for what he passed along to me, because it's allowed me to have a career from my, being 18 or 19 years old all the way up to now, where I'm 61. And it's also been beneficial for me. It's a good sideline during the day. I can do luthiery work and then gigs, or I've got the freedom to take off and hit the road if I need to, or take a break, whatever works. But the main thing is that when you start as an apprentice with somebody, you will get pretty much the gamut of what you need to know. John was building guitars more than he was repairing guitars. There was both going on, but I ended up doing some of the repair work and some of the modification work. I remember we used to have Joe Walsh was a regular client. And John actually made a beautiful acoustic guitar that ended up in the hands of the guitar player for the Rolling Stones. So it's just a great way to understand what an instrument's about and how the physics of an instrument works. It's a lot more complicated than you would imagine, but working with John was great. I was able to make instruments from scratch, and that taught me a lot about neck angles and fretting, and just general glue up of woods, compatibility of woods, choice of woods, all the stuff that's important to the instrument being a success. And that's led over the years to just getting more and more experience under your belt. You start to learn techniques or develop techniques that work for you, to speed up the work or even slow it down if it's necessary. You just learn what to do and what the right thing to do is. But as you become more accomplished at it, your speed on say a setup or something like that will naturally increase so that you'll be more efficient. Eventually, it's led for me to making guitars under my own name. I don't do them very often anymore because it's really difficult to compete with what's out there on the market that's being made on CNCs or produced for almost nothing overseas. So I tend to just stick to repair work these days. But I did get approached by Alembic, and they asked me to design and execute the first prototype for an acoustic guitar for them. And in the process, I spent time at Alembic working with their luthiers, building jigs, showing them how to make an acoustic guitar, because that's not something they had done previously. And now they're making an absolutely stunning instrument called the Element. But that was kind of my baby, and that's where your career can actually lead you to, is R&D and development of things. John Carruthers has been exceedingly helpful over the years for me. I started going to him when I was 17 years old for repairs, and then as the years went on and I became a luthier, he's given me tips and showed me shortcuts and ways of doing things that have been very helpful. So between the two Johns, John Hawk and John Carruthers, I've had a very good education. And John continues to be exceedingly helpful. If I need a part or something machined on one of his mills or lathes, he's able to do that for me. Heck, he even fixes my motorcycle rim when I dented it. So, I mean, the guy is a true genius. But anyway, if you pick up, tips along the way over the years and do the best work you can, don't take any shortcuts on, your setup. A lot of people will do very minimal setup work and, trying to keep it affordable. But the key to a great setup is the frets. And if you don't really make sure they're perfect to begin with, you're never going to get the setup to the optimal setup. So anyway, I encourage young people to seek out an apprentice position or start working with a company if you can, producing instruments here. I know there's, Gretsch and Larrivee are both local to me here. And if you can do that, you can have a lifelong career in this. It's really not going to be something that you're physically unable to do. Over the years, I've had to add glasses to make sure that I'm seeing everything perfectly. But other than that, it has not been too much of a strain. If you take general precautions and what you're breathing, you should be around for many years and be able to do fantastic work for people. I have folks that send me instruments from all over the world. It's not uncommon for me to get a couple in from New York, had some from England, Australia. It's just a matter of doing a great job, making sure that that instrument is working right, but understanding the physics of how the strings work, neck angles, vibration, the rotational vibration of the string. There's a million little things to understand about a guitar or a ukulele or whatever. Now, I don't do violins. That's a whole different discipline, and I would recommend, if you love acoustic stringed instruments like that, then, you know, once again, get under a good program for that, or an apprenticeship. Anyway, being a luthier has been great for me. You know, being a professional musician is the pinnacle of what I want to do. But having a backup plan is always good, and having something that keeps you busy if you're not too busy with session work or playing out live, it's ideal to be a luthier. Saves you a lot of money in the long run too, because you can do your own work and make your instruments play just like you want them to. So, you budding luthiers out there, keep doing it, or get under a good tutelage with somebody, and it'll be a great thing for you. Good luck.